Hi everyone, so I really wanted to get this done earlier, but you know, life happens, and yeah, I've just been busy, so I'm gonna do this now. Yeah, this is my reaction to the Bachelor Colton Underwood season finale and the announcement of the next Bachelorette, Hannah B. I guess now we can call her Hannah Brown since she's gonna be the only Hannah, I presume, unless, you know, she goes both ways and there's gonna be another Hannah, but yeah. So, Hannah Brown, Alabama Hannah. To start off, I'm going to talk about that. So, the choice to make Hannah Brown the Bachelorette, I'm not surprised at all. I heard rumors about it, and it turned out to be true, so good for her. Like I said in my previous videos, I didn't really like her before. Not that I hated her, it just wasn't one of my favorites. But I actually do like her, even if she can't form sentences. I mean, I would like to see the people criticizing her for that talk on national television and make coherent sentences. You know, it's hard sometimes, and when you're under the pressure of cameras and stuff, especially if you're not used to it, it's overwhelming. I think she's gonna make a good Bachelorette. She has a personality, she's fun, and she kind of says things how it is, which is interesting. And she has like her awkward moments and her insecurities that make it more relatable to watch. We don't want to watch somebody that's perfect, because nobody's really perfect, but somebody that's just so put together and makes themselves perfect in a sense. We want to see the relatability, we want to see the insecurities. So yeah, I think she's gonna be fun. They showed some of the dudes, and honestly, they seemed very fratty. Seems like they just got pulled out of a frat. She got to give out her first rose. I think that's what's interesting. She's gonna bring some untraditional aspects to it. Even though she is another white girl being the Bachelorette, but she's gonna add some other elements to it. She's not afraid to go for things, and I think it'll be fun to watch. I really like Becca, but her season was boring and predictable. We knew what was gonna happen. All right, so day one, they really do milk these finales. I don't understand why we need to watch 4 hours worth of a finale, but okay. With so much like wasted time, you're just like, I just wanna know like what's juicy. And like, Chris Harrison's like, oh, it's so unexpected, so dramatic. I know he says that every season, but this time we knew what was gonna happen. I honestly would be more surprised if he did not say goodbye to Tayshia and Hannah G when he did. If he would have kept them, I would have been more surprised, and that would have been more unpredictable. Colton is really unafraid to walk around in Portugal in pitch black. Good for him. I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified of an animal popping up or something happening. He just really did not care at that moment. When he was found, he already made up his mind that he wanted to end things, and I appreciate that. I think he's been a stand-up bachelor, a really good bachelor in the sense that he makes up his choices and he stands by them. He's not like Ari, that was just confused, and then, you know, he proposes to Becca and then is like, oh no, I made a mistake. You know what? Like, Colton knows what he wants and he goes for it. And I give him props for that, because it's hard, especially in that situation. Chris Harrison obviously comes in as a very realistic father figure, coming in like, hey, like, what if Cassie's just not into you? You go chasing after her and she's just like, no, I don't want to do this. Which, you know, is possible. But Colton's just like, you know, he doesn't think that's going to happen. He thinks more that she was confused because of the whole environment and that it's going to work out. He was positive about that, and, you know, it paid off, because in the end of the day, things did end up okay. Colton broke up with Tayshia, and it was off camera for a time period, and he was just sobbing. It seemed more that Tayshia was taking care of him. Even though you see more of her emotions come in later, but she seemed pretty okay with it. I honestly feel that she was prepared. It's just, when you compare her to Hannah G was super caught off guard and upset. You could clearly see, even when she was brought on stage after the fact and talked with Chris and with Colton, you could obviously still see she was mad and upset. Tayshia, you know, like, I guess it hurt, but she was just kind of more prepared for it, especially since they had that one-on-one fantasy suite time. It did not end how she wanted it to end, and I think she already kind of knew at that moment, like, I don't think his heart is full into it. I think she was able to perceive that. Like, she's a smart woman, so I'm pretty sure she was able to tell that it wasn't going to be her at the end of this. Biggest shock of this whole finale, Colton's hair looks like he's channeling Cassie's father. That's how you know things worked out. because looks like they go to the same hairdresser now. When Ben joked about it, that it was like really long and he thought it was gonna like poke him or whatever, like I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good analysis of it. Like, yeah, it seems like he left it really, really long in the front. Maybe if he would have cut it a bit. I mean, you could already tell in the finale, I think it was like day 2 of the finale, that you see his hair already getting spiked up. Maybe Cassie likes it like that. Reminds her of her father. Colton obviously stands by his decisions, and I give him props for that. I think he did make the right decisions. I guess the only thing that I think he could have done differently was maybe break up with Tayshia after that one-on-one, or maybe before or during. So, I mean, like, he already was thinking of other girls while on that one-on-one, and I think at that moment it could have been best to just send her home. Break up with Hannah G. Yeah, Hannah G is just writing in her diary and about her love for Colton, and then he shows up. Production's like, right before he comes in, he's like, so Hannah G, like, you should like write in your diary about your love for Colton, and then when they already know that Colton's on his way, like, you should do that, like, it'll just help you so much. And then Colton shows up and she's like, what? But she still looked all pretty and like made up, so that's what makes me think that they give them a heads up when it's gonna happen. She's definitely caught off guard and really upset, and even in that live moment where they meet on stage for the first time since the breakup, she asked why he didn't give her the chance to do a one-on-one, and I think it was a smart choice not to. Like, he already knew that Cassie was the one. He already said it. He already expressed those feelings, said he was in love with her. So to go back and then still go on that date with Hannah G, knowing that it was gonna fail, knowing that he loves somebody else, it's just, to me, it made no sense to do so, and I think he made the right decision. And eventually, like, she will realize that it was the right decision to do that. Colton freaked out a bit when he broke up with her, and just like all dudes, he freaks out when he has to say goodbye to his backup plans. He's a stand-up dude. He said, like, he didn't want her to be a backup choice, and that's why he had to say goodbye, but he's still, like, you know, crying and stuff like that. That's how you know, like, dudes do not like to let go of a backup plan. They always like to have things lined up. Like, oh, if it doesn't work with Cassie, at least I have Hannah, or at least I have Tayshia. Like, they like that. But honestly, he has no reason to be upset and worry about a backup plan, because, like, you know, even if it doesn't work out with Cassie, like, he did the right thing. The girls, maybe not now, maybe it'll take some time, they will appreciate him making that choice, because nobody wants to be a backup plan. Everybody deserves better than that. I felt bad when Hannah G said that she felt like she was slapped in the face when Colton was saying that he thought of Cassie while on other dates. And yeah, that sucks. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. And I think for closure, it's somewhat beneficial to know. She most definitely deserves somebody to jump a fence for her. You know, Colton did that for Cassie, and she deserves another dude to do that for her. We all deserve that. It was the first time in Bachelor history where no woman was left on the show. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then they brought my man Jason on stage. Garrett was there, Ben was there, Blake was there. You know, I was most happy to see Jason, and I'm glad him and Caylin are working out. And then they show like the whole little promo for the next episode, and I did not know Cassie was still there. I thought her butt was already out of Portugal. Like, she's still there. So of course we know that Colton's gonna go running to her and try to, you know, give it another shot. Okay, so day 2. Colton talks to Cassie. Cassie is still unsure, confused. No surprise. I mean, she's 23 years old. It happens in your early 20s. And like, they kind of make up and decide to give it another shot, I suppose. And she's like, oh my god, I'm still confused of what's going on. And Colton's like, oh my god, don't say that. Like, just broke up with other 2 ladies, and yeah, gotta make it work. Cassie agrees to go to Spain with Colton and his family, to meet his family. I'd be terrified. I mean, honestly, probably not the best idea, considering she's still confused and she hasn't made up her mind. Then meeting a family while you're still unsure, and they're gonna be asking questions and your answer is still, I don't know. Not the best situation. They agree to take it one day at a time. They have their own, you know, one-on-one date, and everything appears to be going smoothly and well. And they have their own, I guess, fantasy suite time. Cassie says she's all in. And yeah, I mean, we don't know what happened in the fantasy suite. I mean, we can assume that Colton's no longer a virgin. you know, but like, yeah, I think it's best to leave that private. That's on them. Like, who cares anymore? Like, as long as we don't have to hear it anymore, I'm happy. Colton kicked out the whole production crew so they can be there, and then they forgot they still had the mics on, so then they had to let them back in and take off the mics. Leighton Meester was actually there watching the show since Chris Harrison's gonna be on their show, Single Parents, or I think that's what it's called. And I love her, Blair Waldorf. Yeah. So then they brought like the Goose, Jason, Ben, Demi, Oneka, and Sydney on stage to dish out on everything that's going on. And yeah, I like how Chris is like, oh, the next Bachelorette could be in this group. You're like, no, she ain't. Okay, so the morning after the fantasy suite with Cassie, we see Colton in the shower. That's like his favorite place to be. I don't know how many times we have to watch Colton in the shower. It looked kind of sad at first. I was like, oh wait, where's Cassie? Like, I mean, but of course, you know, ABC's not going to show them showering together, but she's still there. Everything's going well. You know, it went smoothly, I suppose, eating breakfast in bed and just good old jolly time. Chris brings forth Colton and Cassie to the stage, and they talk about their romance, and they show some scenes of the relationship, and it's just all going well. They're together and dating, and apparently Colton picked out a ring. They're not engaged or anything, but he already has a ring ready. So yeah. Actually, I follow Greg Sulkin, and he posted something on his story recently of Colton and Cassie and like him and Michelle like double dating or whatever, their secret dates. And it was cute. Colton eventually gets to give out his final rose, and Cassie gets to receive it. Air Supply performs. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. Let me know what you guys thought of the finale. Did you guys think this was a good season? Did you like Colton as a Bachelor? Are you excited for Hannah Brown, Alabama Hannah, being the next Bachelorette? Let me know. Yeah.